Hey guys, my name is Mark. I'm with Paramount Property Services. I'm making this video as the first place that you're going to go after your Rachio intelligent irrigation controller has been installed and you're figuring out how to use it. I'm an irrigation pro. I focus on West Broward down here in South Florida. I do a little bit of work up in Palm Beach County, a little bit of work into Miami, a little bit of work into Collier. It really just depends on the situation. But for the most part, when I install a Rachio, I like to walk my customers through exactly how to use the unit. But every once in a while, I get a situation where a client's not home, we have to do it remote, or they just ultimately forget how to go in there and change any of these settings. So this is not a video on how to install a Rachio. That's not what this video is about. I'm going to do that video a different time, a different day. What this video is about is how to use your Rachio once it's been professionally installed for you, so that you don't have to start calling technical support or me or whoever your installer is in order to ask the questions. Now, the last thing I did want to mention is if you're at the point where you're looking for an intelligent controller, if you're looking to buy a Rachio, I've installed quite literally a couple hundred of these things. And if you're looking for it to be done right, if you're looking for all of your irrigation repairs to be done, properly, if you're looking for beautiful green grass and beautiful plants, I can assure you there's one guy that you should call for that. Again, my name is Mark. My company is called Paramount Property Services, and my number is 954-599-2602. But please, watch this video, enjoy it, like and subscribe, but don't call me for technical support. If you're not my client, with all due respect, although I love everybody's questions online, please just don't call me looking for free technical support. I just can't afford to do that for people. Okay, here it goes. Okay guys, first things first, go here to your Rachio app, and once you select your Rachio app, if you have multiple different controllers popping up, you'll be able to select them on this screen. If you only have one controller, it'll pop up automatically once, of course, it's been programmed to your account. I get a call today from this particular client, so I'm going to go here and choose his controller. You see here, it's going to give you like the address of the controller, because you can have more than one controller at an address, and then it's going to give you the actual controller at the address. So you're going to choose the controller at the address. Now this here, all of this, I best describe to people as almost like the control panel on like an airplane, and there's a lot going on here. At the top of the screen, you can see, weather, for example, so you have like, it'll show you today, a graphical indication of the weather. You're expecting rain, 46% chance of rain. Here's a temp. If you were to scroll this way, you can see like it'll go forward with the weather forecast. And the reason why that's in here isn't because they're expecting you to, use this app to check the weather. The reason why it's here is because, quite frankly, since this is a smart controller, since it's checking the weather to make its decisions on, when and how much it's going to water, of course, the information's here so that you can see the information. You don't have to start your morning here, but they are going to provide the information to you. They have this area here now in the middle with the ads. I don't care for that. You can pretty much ignore it. Go down to this section, you see upcoming or past. So if you were to choose upcoming, normally you would see different runs set in here of when it's expected to water. Again, in this situation, it's not showing that because this controller was just connected for the first time yesterday, and with all of the rain here that we can see being forecast, the unit has chosen to not add any watering to the schedule because it knows a lot of rain's coming. If it was going to be watering on this top screen, you would see right here, you would see icons, you would see icons representing that it was planning to water on those days. There's no icons because there's plenty of rain coming. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit more. On this screen here, you can see at a glance like how much you've watered currently for the month. So again, this just got connected yesterday. The units worked 1 hour and 7 minutes. If you were to toggle forward and back on this, you'd be able to look, once the data has been acquired, you'd be able to look back at previous months. And people ask me, but it tells me it hasn't saved me any watering time at all. Okay, let me explain this to you. There's different kinds of schedules you can put on the Rachio. You can make a fixed schedule where the Rachio is going to water. Let me give you an example. Every single day, from 4 to 6 a.m. Or you can make it a flex schedule. And a flex schedule basically says, you know what, Rachio, I trust you. You figure it out. You make whatever schedule you want, as long as it's completed by, let's just say 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you're going to create a fixed schedule and the rain comes and the Rachio skips the watering because rain came instead, that's where in this spot you'll see that it saved you a bunch of watering. But if you were to instead implement a flex schedule, is what they call it, where Rachio is going to make the whole schedule itself, it's not going to necessarily save any watering time because it hasn't even created any watering to save. So inherently, it's definitely saving plenty. It's not going to show up there. Okay. So anyways, this is the main screen. This is just some of the information that's there. Now, let's navigate here to the bottom, and I'll show you some of these other buttons. You can go here to zones. Now, under the zones section, assuming this was set up properly for you when the Rachio was installed, you'll see a visual indicator or words that represent in this case there's 4 zones, and we give them names. The names are logical. It's the right side of the house. Who cares if it's zone 3 or zone 5 or whatever it is? When you want to water the right side of the house, it's called right side of the house. Same thing for backyard near the lake. Give it a logical name. Now, on this screen here, you can actually click to open up one of these zones, okay, and you can see some information there. And again, similar to the first screen, when did it water, how much time was saved, etc., etc. Let me go back here. Or on this screen with the zones, you also have some information here at the bottom that you can look at. Setting up zones, again, that's not what this video is for. Showing disabled basically means, let's just say you have an 8-zone timer, but you only have 4 zones. Well, guess what? 4 of those zones are disabled or hidden, okay? What you need to see here on this particular screen is quick run. So if you want to run the whole schedule, if you want to run one zone, there's basically 3 ways to do it, okay? So way number 1, okay, click one of your zones, okay, and then that zone's going to come up, and you're going to go here to the, where am I at here? Hold on, sorry. You're going to go here to the front, top, and you're going to click on quick run zone, okay? So this is the first way. We're going to run it for 10 minutes. I'm not going to do that because then the guy's going to call me. This system's live. So second way, okay, you can go here, down at the bottom, quick run, okay? So let's go ahead and click on that so you can see. Now, in quick run, you can select. Let's just say I want right side and front lawn, click next. I want to do 10 minutes for each, and then you click run, and it's live, it's running, okay? Again, I'm going to exit out of here. I don't want to run this guy's grass. The other way, the third way that you can do a run from this screen is you can go down here to where it shows schedules, okay? So if we were to click on that and then click on the schedule, same thing. From this schedule screen, you can run the whole schedule. So they've offered you a lot of different ways because, quite frankly, there's different people who are going to prefer different things. Maybe you added some flowers in the front and you only want to run one zone. Maybe everything's dry, and in addition to changing your schedule, you want to run the whole grass. They offer you all those options. Okay, so now going back to the main screen once again, going to go down here to the bottom. So we already looked at. So we're on the home screen. We already looked at the zones screen. Next, we're going to go to the schedule screen. So on the schedule screen, you're going to see the schedule that has already been created. So I'm gonna take you through here under the where it says create schedule. Not that it's because you necessarily have to have more than one schedule for a house, but just because it might give everybody a better comprehension of the different types of schedules that Rachio offers. So let's click on create schedule. So now this is where the Rachio shines. Okay, if you were to look back at those old Internatic controllers, the ones that basically have a clock and tick like a bomb, I have some videos of those up. That's what the majority of my customers started with. Those are not smart controllers. Those have no internet. They have no Wi-Fi. They have no ability to know past, present, future rain, past, present, or future temperatures, wind, frost, if that's applicable to you. They don't know any of that stuff. It's not a smart controller. They're going to follow the schedule that it's set until you go out there and change something. But with the Rachio, they give you the ability to create a schedule, and there's different types of schedules. So there's a fixed schedule, there is a flex schedule, and then let me scroll down here, give me a second. And then there's also a flex daily schedule. So the bottom line is that if you look at the fixed schedule, just read what it says, okay? Water when you want. It'll skip when it rains or when it freezes. But it's gonna. If you tell this you want to water. Let's just give this a name here. Hold on. Okay, so actually that's not really the best name because this is a fixed schedule, but you understand the point. So, if you want to water, every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, you can create that as a fixed schedule. So give it a name. You're going to select what zones you want to water on that schedule, and then you're going to choose. Do you want to choose specific days? Specific days on the next screen, you'll see. What does that mean? That means you're going to choose exactly what it says. You're going to pick the days. Let's toggle back. Do you want to do an interval, which means odd or even, etc. Or do you want to pick daily interval? What does daily interval mean? That means every day, which is obvious, but it could be every 2 days, every 3 days, every 4 days. So I would say most of my customers are going to do a daily interval. Most of my customers, if they want to have a fixed schedule, they're going to go to daily interval, and they're going to select they want to water their grass, let's just say every 2 days, okay? And then when do you want to water your grass, okay? Do you want to do it after sunset? No. How about at a specific time? I mean, what time is convenient for you? I mean, I don't know. I think that the smartest thing for everybody to do here is to follow what the EPA says. And what they say is that you want to water your grass so that it ends before sunrise. The true expression is that you want to water your grass before sunrise while dew is present. What that has to do with is that you want the grass to have and the plants to have the maximum ability to absorb the water that you're putting down because it's a precious resource, and you don't want to water it during a time when the sun's up and when it's hot, which would allow the water to, in some cases, evaporate more quickly than it's being absorbed by the plants, okay? Now, you might ask then, oh, well, how about just doing it after sunset? Aren't the plants going to be able to absorb water then as well? Well, sure, they could absorb water then as well. But if you water your grass at 8 o'clock at night and then it doesn't get light again until 6 o'clock in the morning. That's 10 hours later. That means you've allowed your plants and your grass to sit there in the water that hasn't, that maybe it's been absorbed, but the extra water that's there, 10 hours. What does that do? That causes fungus. So, no, you don't want to water your grass at sundown. You want to water your grass in the morning before sunrise. So again, different types of schedules. So fixed schedule, I showed you. You can pick the zones that you want, pick the interval, or however many days. Then on the next screen, it's going to ask you when to start it. It's going to give you a message only because I already have another schedule set up that's conflicting. So you can read through that if that happens to you. And then basically it's going to ask you, like, do you want to make this schedule permanent? Do you want to make this schedule temporary? All those questions are there. Just read through them. It's pretty simple. Or you can go back here to this screen and choose Flex Monthly. Okay, so Flex Monthly basically means just that. It's going to be flexible, and it's going to create a schedule every month. So October 1st, it makes a schedule. November 1st, it makes a schedule, and it sticks to it. So let's just kind of show you through this again a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to do every even day just to kind of show you. And before sunrise, same thing. So I don't love this option. Okay. So for me, when my clients are asking me to program a system, I'm going to choose Flex Daily. And Flex Daily is actually going to be all the way down here. Okay. So let me show you that. So Flex Daily, let's see, it's showing me a message. All zones are already in a Flex Daily schedule. Okay. So that means I'm going to go out of here. Forgive me for a moment. I'm going to pause it while I pick a different. Okay. I picked a different controller. They only let you do one Flex Daily schedule, I guess. So again, we're going to go back down to schedules. And you can tell they actually have a Flex Daily schedule already on there. And the Flex Daily schedule, let me explain. You're going to pick your interval. You're going to pick your interval. You're going to pick your watering duration. You're going to tell it when you want it to start. But at the end of the day, what the Flex Daily is going to do for you is it's going to wake up every day and it's going to decide, what the schedule is going to be. So again, fixed, nothing is changed every day. It can skip your schedule based upon the weather, but that's it. Okay. The Flex Monthly, again, nothing's changing every day. It changes once a month, and that's it. So the schedule that I use for the majority of my customers is a Flex Daily schedule. And it says here, automatically adjust daily, intelligently waters the individual zones as needed based upon the weather forecast. Okay, so that's what I choose. And the setup for that is going to be the same thing. You give it a name, and you select the zones, and you go from there. I need to take a look here at this house. I'm not really sure what they got going on with their zones, but you get the point. So let me go back to the main screen. Again, here's your main panel. Looks a little different because it's a different client's controller. But the last thing that you're going to have down here on this bar is the settings. So let's navigate to the settings. So on the settings, you're going to see a couple things. Okay, you're going to see, do you have Wi-Fi currently? Well, I mean, I don't even know why that's there, because if you didn't have Wi-Fi, then you wouldn't be able to access the controller with this app. So that's kind of dumb to have there if you think about it. But scrolling down here at the bottom, you have different weather sources. You can tell it, do you want a single data point, or do you want to have the weather being determined from multiple data points? You you have here, this is an important one, update your Wi-Fi network. So we're going to click on that, and it walks you through the process. If you go out to your controller, it tells you how to update your Wi-Fi network. But I can give you a quick workaround for that, because if you get a new Wi-Fi, guess what? You can actually give the new Wi-Fi the same network name and password as the old Wi-Fi. And if you do that, then all your devices are going to work. You don't have to go to all your devices and update them. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's some other basic features here that are really not particularly important to the end user. There's definitely some special things you can do with the device, but for the most part, what I'll tell people is, leave it alone. I do put a schedule on it, which for the most part is going to be a flex daily schedule. If you find that the flex daily schedule is insufficient for your lawn because perhaps you have a more complicated landscaping, then you have two choices. We can either increase the watering duration on the flex daily schedule, or we can change your schedule from a flex daily schedule to a fixed schedule and just completely override the system and just have it water every third day, for example. I mean, I have customers that are watering every other day because they have, $100,000 landscaping projects and they don't want the stuff to die. But if that's not you, if you have a relatively simple or modest landscaping, then the flex schedule is really the best way to go. Now, the last thing to talk about is if you're finding that a certain portion of your property is perhaps needing, more water than other portions of your property, you can go over here to the Rachio, and you can go on your schedules, and you can actually change the watering duration for different areas of your lawn. So this to me looks like that's what this customer did. They made their own schedule, and they decided that the backyard needed less water than the right side, which needed less water than the front. And that seems about right. The front of the house, on the houses I work for, they usually need the most water. So that's what they did. So you can do that as well on the Rachio. If you add some plants, let's just say you're in the middle of some new landscaping and you add some plants and you want to just go ahead and water them to keep them alive, so you don't got to go out there with the hose. Of course, you can go there and just send some water to that zone manually. But other than that, the Rachio does shine in the automatic way in which it operates. It truly does know the past, present, and future weather. It makes really good decisions for the majority of my customers in terms of when it's going to water completely automatically. I would say that out of the couple hundred people that I've installed a Rachio for, and you can see just a couple of them here. I focus on Broward County, mostly West Broward, and in Weston here, it's the map's completely covered. I mean, if you're looking for a person to do irrigation in West Broward, then I'm probably the best option of people for you to call. But all that being said, out of all of these different people I've installed controllers for, it's really going to be a minority. I would say maybe 10% of the time it becomes necessary to do a more complicated schedule than the completely flexible flex schedule that most people get. Only 10% of the time do I find that any other manipulations of the schedule are necessary. So that's pretty much it. Again, Mark here from Paramount Property Services. If you have any questions, if you need to reach me, my number is 954-599-2602. I do not provide free technical support, but if you're interested in doing some business, then please give me a shout, and it'll get done right the first time. Have a nice day.